Well, hello and welcome to our first edition of the Rebels Strategy Sessions. Tonight we're going to be talking about the free Facebook method, which is how to work smarter and stand out. Now, if you're tuning into this live, you'll know that this is the time slot that we normally do Rebel TV, and it's a way to help our team and help our team grow and learn and discover new methods that they maybe haven't known before. We are doing these intro strategy sessions once a week on Rebel TV. So if you're not a Rebel, feel free to hang out with us to check it out. And if you are a Rebel, this is a way of having a look at the different methods you can use online, so that you can see, just get a sneak peek into them, see which ones suit you. This is all with the purpose of you honing in, choosing one or two methods to build your business, one or two that you're excited by, that suits your circumstances. Because guys, there's hundreds of ways of marketing online, and we do kind of quite specifically teach a few, but we wanted to make sure that you get short introductions to them to understand them better, so that then you can go ahead and choose strategies that are really going to suit you in your situation that you can be really happy with. So without further ado, we're going to dive into the free Facebook method today, give you a solid introduction of what this is all about, what it would take to do it right, and kind of the purpose behind it. So the purpose behind the free Facebook method, and we're going to dig into the how you do it in a couple of minutes. But really the purpose that you're trying to do is to create strong connections with people who want to be more closely associated with you. So that's actually really important. We're not saying this is to create friendships. We're not even saying this is to create lots of sales. This is about creating connections with others who actually genuinely want to be more closely associated with you. Because when people want to be closely associated with you, they're far more likely to follow your suggestions, to buy the stuff that you suggest, to have a positive response to you, and really connect to you. So in doing this, you're looking for leads for your business. This could be, you could be in direct sales, you can be in network marketing, whatever it is that you're selling. You could be doing affiliate marketing, but you're looking for leads that are of a higher quality. So if you're one of the Rebels, this is looking for people to join your business, and so rather than going for large quantities of traffic, large quantities of leads, the whole purpose of the Facebook strategy is to find leads for your business that are very high quality, because they already know you and already have a connection to you. So these are people who are more likely to view your product or service from a very open perspective rather than a skeptical position. So what we mean by that is that because they feel they know you from you using the Facebook free method, when they look at your stuff, because it's associated with you, they're happy to look at it, they're excited, they're looking for the reasons why they should buy, rather than the kind of crossed arms why they shouldn't buy. And also, you're using the tried and true friends and family method, really. In network marketing, the friends and family method is often the first thing you're taught, is to sell stuff to your friends and family and acquaintances. Now, we do not teach selling to your existing friends and family using the free Facebook method, but the reason why that has always worked is because people buy from those that they know, like, and trust. So this is a way of creating a new online group of, it's not family obviously, but a new online group of friends who view you as that little bit of an authority, so they want to purchase stuff from you. They also feel like you're a real person because they've gotten to know you on social media. So it's just like, if you've been in network marketing before and people have told you to call up your friends and family, it's similar to that, only you don't have to call anyone. This doesn't have to be anyone you actually know in real life, but you're still getting the benefit of that kind of connection. That's how it's higher quality leads. So investment, for each of these little strategy intros, we want to share with you, what it's going to take to make this successful. So the actual financial side is incredibly low. You do need to have a blog, which if you're already in the Rebels, you already have a blog. You have a great blog that you can start using straight away. And perhaps an autoresponder. So if someone chooses to look into your business or look into your product, there's a way to follow up with them. But other than that, there's really no financial costs to making this work. It's truly a free method. Now, in time costs, it's kind of I'd say it's a medium level. It's not as high as things like SEO. It's not as low as things like paid marketing. You do have to spend consistent time on this daily. So I would say roughly about 1.5 hours per day. That's including time to create content. So if you are using the free Facebook method, you're looking at, say this, if you have absolutely no money to put into advertising, but you do have a bit of time to spend, that's who this will suit. So if you like connecting with others, obviously without having to pick up the phone, without having to connect with people that you already know, and if you have more time than you have finances to invest, this would be a good strategy for you to pursue. Okay, so the basics of the Facebook free method. Well, your goal here is to create a certain feeling when your picture pops up on Facebook. So when someone is scrolling through their Facebook wall and they see you pop up, your goal is for them to have a positive association and to view you as an authority. So by authority, they just view you as someone who has started on the path to success, has started on a path that they might want to take, and you can show them the way. Now, you also are creating a connection, so you're showing people that you are a real person who has faced the problems that they are now facing. So if you think about it, because I know this all sounds very kind of non-specific, but if you think about scrolling through your newsfeed, think about probably the person that signed you up. If you're already a rebel, think about the person who signed you up. What feeling do you get when you see their picture pop up? You probably get a positive association. You get, oh, I really care what this person has to say, because you view them as an authority. You also, when they post personal stuff, you're more interested in learning about them as a real person. So that's the kind of feeling that you want to create for the people who are getting to know you on Facebook, because it makes them far more likely to choose to buy from you. So when you're doing this method, this is not about adding as many friends as possible. I think that's what a lot of people think the free Facebook method is about, is just add quantities, add as many people as you can, get a huge friends list. But the truth is it's not at all what it's about. It's about the feeling that people get when they see your picture pop up. So it's hugely, hugely important that you avoid any negativity and complaining, even if you have the urge to do that, even if you have the urge to share. Sometimes people will share stuff that they're concerned about. They'll be sharing, a lot of pictures of, I don't know, some animal having I don't even like talking about this kind of stuff, but having some kind of animal cruelty kind of pictures, or that they're talking about something that they're maybe they're sharing a negative news story, like they can't believe that this happened in their area. No matter what, even if you're sharing it from the perspective of wanting awareness, that feeling that people have about your content gets transferred to their feeling about you. So it's really important that you always keep in mind that your goal is to create that feeling of them seeing you as, just a little bit of an authority, and that's quite easy to do with content. I'll show you how in a second. But the real thing is that, it's a positive connection. You're a real person who, you have had real problems. You have been in similar situations to what they have, but they know that you're real and that you're someone that they can follow. So you really want to focus on the feeling that they get. So the feeling is going to be determined by several steps in your, in your association with them. The first point at which their initial base feeling about you is set is in the first introduction to you. So a lot of people will say, when you meet someone, you have like 9 seconds or 8 seconds or something like that for them to decide if they like you or not. Now online, that same thing still applies. So if you just send out random willy-nilly friend requests, then they're not likely to get much of a feeling at all. You're just getting a willy-nilly feeling. How do they feel about random friend requests? How do they feel about whichever picture that you have there? So in your first introduction, you always want to make it about them, what they are doing, or somehow kind of complimentary. And we dig into this in the Rebel training on, the more in-depth Facebook free method training. But in the introduction, it's just important that you're, maybe messaging them about their blog or about their Facebook fan page or about something that they posted about that you found interesting. It doesn't take that long to find out genuine stuff about people. I can't tell you how many people have sent me messages saying, oh, I see we both like Jim Rohn or something like that. What's your favorite thing about him, or what's your favorite Jim Rohn quote? And I'll be like, well, why should I tell you? You're just some random stranger. Whereas if they reached out to me and said, wow, I really liked your article on Jim Rohn. Here's actually another quote that I thought was really pertinent. It immediately then, people love to have feedback. They love to know that people out there are actually looking at what they're doing. They love to feel like, hey, they're making a difference. So instead of just picking a random interest, this is about finding people and then taking a moment to make that genuine connection, because what you're doing is rooting in that feeling of authority, also that feeling of just positivity. So their first introduction to you, really what you're looking to do is create a really positive association. The second thing is daily exposure. If you are liking and commenting and interacting on their posts, that builds their feeling of liking you, of feeling like you're a great, complimentary, positive person. Also, the daily exposure they get from seeing your posts. So, and as we said a few minutes ago, your posts really portray a feeling, so you need to be careful what you're posting. The third thing that creates that daily feeling is the direct contact. So this is any messages between you and them. So if you send them a message, an introductory message, and they respond back, if you're messaging back and forth a little bit, that's also going to determine the feeling. But the main things really are the very first introduction, and then the daily exposure is what's going to create the feeling over time. Now, as you're posting, there are 4 different types of content that you can be posting on your Facebook wall. Number 1 is images. So images, you've probably seen this, and you want to stick within pretty much these 4 types of content. I guess I cover pretty much everything, but the main thing is that you're not always just sticking to one thing, that you're rotating between types of content, because it builds the image of a real person. So images is great. They can have inspiring quotes on them. You can be sharing inspiring quotes from cool pages that you like, or just shots from your own life that kind of help to fill in their picture of a real person here. Also, external links. So this can be, links to your own content on your own blog. It can also be other people's articles and videos. So this is kind of like building you as again, this helps build you as an authority, because you could be posting on topics that they're interested in, and gives them a chance to, to kind of see what you're interested in and see you as someone who's providing valuable information. Regular updates with no link. So these are just your regular status updates. These are great because they build you as a real person. So this is like talking about crazy weather. If you're experiencing crazy weather in your area, this can be talking about funny things your kids say is one that I do a lot. And this is just your regular Facebook posting. Again, it's just avoiding serious negativity is the only thing you really want to look out for. These really do help create engagement. They can help start off conversations. You can share information related to your niche or your topic or your passion, that kind of thing. So it doesn't always have to be just about you, but this is just regular old something that you have to say. And the fourth type is updates with a link. So you've probably seen people do these before too, where maybe you're sharing a deep thought that you've had, something kind of talking about where a little bit of your story, with something that leads into a link to your capture page or a link to a more salesy blog post. And quite often, this is where people would share stories of where they were to where they are now. So these ones are great when you begin to have that story, when you start to make sales. This then will have a huge impact on how well this method works for you. This also can be an image, or you can combine certain types of content, but the updates with a link are typically sharing a bit of a story that then leads into why you chose to have your business, and then sharing a capture page. So the flow of the sales, and this is important, it's just to understand like how someone goes from being on Facebook to being a sale for you. So there's 3 stages. The first stage is the connection stage, where your entire purpose is building a positive association. And so because you're on Facebook all the time, and you'll have different you'll be at different stages with different people, but it's important to know that each person that gets to know you will go through this same flow. So first there's the stage where they're building a positive association to you and your picture. They're, at this point, you're showing more interest in them probably than they are in you. So you're liking their stuff, you're commenting, you're looking at their blog posts, you're, sharing their stuff if you want to. You've sent that initial nice email or nice Facebook message. So that's where they're kind of building that connection and building that positive feeling towards you. Then comes at the point at which they start to view you as an authority. So maybe they've seen several of your posts. They kind of start to connect you to your usual topic, and your usual topic can be super broad. For me, I share personal development and business stuff, so usually people kind of associate me with that. Like, they know that I love kind of the more sciencey personal development stuff. So they'll start to, over time, really get a feel for you as a person, but also you as an authority. So they kind of start to follow your posts. One thing that's really interesting is the more you are connecting and commenting on their part in the first in the first place, the more they will actually begin to see you as that authority, because, well, for one, they see more of your stuff in their Facebook newsfeed. They start to that's just the way the Facebook algorithm works. But also they start to really genuinely have an interest in you because you've had an interest in them. So that's the stage in which they're following your posts and everything. Now, the sale part comes after they've decided to opt in on your blog. So at this point now, they feel a strong connection with you as a person. They've followed your posts on Facebook for a little while, or maybe it happens quite quickly for some people. They've decided to opt in because they want to work with you, because there's something about what you're doing that just is appealing to them. So that's really the flow of where you go from a complete stranger to someone deciding to work with you. Now, you're going to be taking very specific daily action steps if you're following this Facebook free method. The first thing and most important part of this, it's actually more important than anything else, is making new friends. So we say kind of make 5 to 10 new friends per day. In the past I've said 5, but actually I think that you can go up to 10 once you're doing it carefully. So this is not spamming out friend requests. This is using careful selection. And as this is just the intro, I'm not going to dig too deep into this, but you can use Facebook graph search. You can use groups, and you can also use off of Facebook coming to on Facebook methods, and we teach that actually in the more advanced free Facebook marketing training. But again, this is just the intro. So this is what you'd be doing on a daily basis, sending out 5 to 10 new friend requests, and we would show you, in the more advanced training exactly how to find those people and what to do to get that immediate positive association. And then you'll also be doing 3 to 4 posts daily. Now, this is actually not hard at all, considering that you're moving through several different content types. It can be just putting up an image. It can be, sharing a picture of your kids. It can be, sharing a quote. I do that a lot. If I don't have any thoughts of my own, I'll just share a quote. So this is where you're kind of making sure you're going through the different content types. So you're not just always sharing the same exact type of thing. So you're not just always sharing article links or always sharing inspiring image quotes and things like that. You want to try and stick to only one salesy message per day. So if you do one of the updates with a link, where it's more of a story leading to a capture page, then maybe don't post a blog post that day. Or if your blog post is very information based and not very salesy, then yeah, go ahead and do a different message that's a little more salesy. You also can leave off sales messages for a couple of days if you want, but I just wouldn't go more than one sales message per day. So really what you're doing here is using Facebook kind of the same way you already use it. The major difference would be that you're adding new friends every day, and you're making sure to avoid associating your name or your image. And by image, I mean like your actual profile picture, because that's where people store their feelings about you. It's like people are image-based. They don't drag up the feelings about you based on your name popping up, unless they know your name really well. Their feelings about you are attached to your profile picture. So don't change it often. Pick something that's good, that's bright, that they can really see you, and then avoid posting really negative stuff. I know there's the temptation to share the really horrific news stories and stuff, and we do want to create awareness, but just always be really aware. Are you doing this daily? Is this something that's starting to be associated with you? I have one friend in particular that it's like, when I think about dog cruelty, I think about this person, because they post that a lot, and I get that they're really passionate about it. But it's also, in a way, it's a little bit of a negative association. So if I see that their profile picture pop up on my Facebook wall, I kind of tend to scroll quickly, because I don't like to see upsetting images, and I don't like to, I don't like to think about that stuff much. I mean, and I've even shared with her before, I donate already to dog charities specifically because of this, and they're specifically picked out, and I donate every single month, and I don't want to see that. So you need to think about avoiding associating your name or your image with bad feelings, because remember, the purpose of this is simply creating a good feeling when people see you, and then allowing them a way to look at your business via the things you're posting. Now, the third action step is just spending about 30 minutes interacting or messaging. I don't get on and do chat messaging. Some people do, and we've got a lot of great trainings on doing chat messaging. So if that's the kind of thing that would really suit you, that's an excellent way to even build stronger relationships, like build real friendships and stuff like that. It just was never for me, so I kind of let my posts do a lot of my heavy work, and then for my interacting, I would be liking and commenting on other people's stuff. So those are the 3 major action steps that you're taking on a daily basis. Just bear in mind that in order to post blog posts, you would also need to be creating them. But again, in the more in-depth Facebook free method, we go really in-depth into how to create content, what kind of content to put up, how to find those friends, how to message them, all these things. But again, this is just to kind of give you a flavor. This is what you'd be doing on a daily basis, is spending time making new friends, posting your posts, and then interacting with other people. And that's kind of as simple as it is. And the reason why it guides people through that sales process is because they decide they want to work with you. You know, they see you as someone really positive. They get a good feeling around you, which again then extends to a good feeling around your business. You know, when they choose to look at your business, they're looking at it with open arms. You know, as opposed to, say, in paid marketing, you get a lot more people who are skeptical because they've seen an ad and then they're looking at, you know, well, they don't want to be sold something, you know, whereas here people have gotten to know you, then they've chosen to click on one of your links, then they've chosen to have a look at your business, then they've chosen that they really want to work with you and become one of the Rebel marketers. Maybe they've seen the great community, maybe they've seen you share Rebel TV and they know that there's a huge team here. So there's all kinds of really positive reasons to do the Facebook method. It is you know, it is something that will be that little bit slower because pretty much all of the time-based methods as opposed to the paid methods tend to go a little bit slower to build it up. But if you do this consistently, it can build up really, really quickly. You can build a following really quickly, and you can, you know, start to get leads and sales quite quickly doing this, as long as you stay consistent. That's one of the most important things about this. If you're going to choose this, don't choose to do it, you know, once or twice at the weekend. This is choosing to do this daily. It really does not take a ton of time, but if you don't have, you know, money to put into paid advertising, this is a great way to make a really strong team for yourself and to have people in business who really like you and want to be in business with you. Now, to get further training on this, because again, this is just a very rough intro to what Facebook marketing can do for you, how it kind of works, what it's all about. But we do have a full Rebel Facebook training. This is one that we actually, as a team, have a very complete, a couple of hours actually, training. It'll show you how to find good friend connections, both on and off Facebook. So we kind of go with the stand out, you know, do things a little bit differently. Don't just say, hey, I see you like George Takei. You know, everyone likes George Takei, so that's not going to make you stand out. You know, so how to find good friend connections, how to create strong connections right from the get-go, and how to create instant authority. It's not going to help you if you spell instant wrong, but how to create instant authority via the more advanced method. So that's actually, it's a lot of training that's available within the Rebel Facebook group, and also if you're watching this on the recording on our Rebel Strategies site, where we're going to have all of these kind of gathered together once they're all created. If you're watching it there should be a link straight to those trainings below this video. There's also a link to the 15K formula. That's one of the products within Empower. So in 15K formula video 2, Chris Record digs into using social media to share your content. He actually does also go more in depth into like chat, to, you know, getting to know people via messaging. So between the two of these, you can absolutely dominate using the Facebook free method. I mean, he's created an unbelievable result with just using free social media. So pretty amazing. So as I already said, if you're already a Rebel, the links will be available below this recording. So that is the Facebook free method. If you are not a Rebel, if you're watching this live, because that's the only way you'd be watching this, if you're you know, if you're not a Rebel, if you happen to catch this live, there's a link below this video to join the Rebels. We're doing these trainings every week. We're here to help you. We're here to support you. And we're also here to make sure that you understand what's available out there and make the right choice for you. We don't think that marketing should be cookie cutter marketing. We don't believe that we should all only have one dream. The Rebels are about creating the most successful team of entrepreneurs in the history of online marketing, which means that you have your own dream and we want you to achieve your own dream. We want you to have your own success. And we get that everyone's different. So you'll be able to go through these live with us as we're going through them every week. Pick the strategy that most suits you and your circumstances and your strengths, and we'll show you where to then get the more in-depth training on it so that you can focus your attentions on what's going to work for you and create massive results. Almost every single success story happened when someone married the right system with the right strategy for them. So we're going to go through a few more of these in the coming times. But if you're not a Rebel yet, click the link below to get in and become a Rebel marketer. And we will see you guys next week for the next intro to strategy training. All right, thanks everybody.